Good afternoon everybody and welcome back to another studio vlog. Today is the 19th of April. It's been a long time since I picked up the camera, but there is a very good reason for that. We went on holiday for Easter, so we flew out to Florida on the 3rd of April. We drove up to Manchester and parked up at Manchester Airport the day before, so we have had a lovely couple of weeks in the sun. We had some dodgy weather actually. It was a bit chilly the one day. We had to wear a jumper, which if you've ever been to Florida is one of those really strange things that just never ever happens. But it was actually a welcome sort of respite from the heat, because the first week it was 34 degrees Celsius nearly every day, and the humidity is so high over there that it just makes you feel so hot. So the few days where it was a bit cooler were actually pretty nice. We got back into Manchester yesterday morning, which was the Tuesday morning, and we drove straight back from Manchester to Birmingham, which is where we live. So it was a bit of a long day yesterday. We went straight to bed and got up after a couple of hours to try and combat the jet lag, and then last night we went to bed at about 9:30 and slept all the way through. So I'm hoping tonight that we will do exactly the same and we will have gotten over the jet lag, because that is the worst thing about long haul 5-hour time difference flights. I'm back today to working. I've got lots to do. Before we start, I'm going to show you a few highlights of our holiday, and I'm going to pop some footage in now of what we did and some of the things that we saw. So I hope you enjoy it. I really love Florida. Anyway, I'm back now to work with a bang. I've got lots to do. When we went away, I put my Etsy store onto holiday mode, and I did do quite a bit of research online, and I read and I watched videos and all that sort of stuff, because some people do say that holiday mode can affect your store in a negative way. So I was a bit sort of reluctant to do it, and I was originally just going to extend my processing times, because you can do that and then it will show your customer that the item won't ship out. Say if I went on holiday on April 3rd, I put my shipping time or my processing time at 3 weeks, so then the customer would know at checkout that that item wasn't going to go out until now. But a lot of people I've found don't actually look at the processing time, so they'll just say I need it now. And because obviously a lot of the items that I sell and make are really time sensitive, so it makes it more difficult, and you're going to end up with more unhappy customers if they've ordered something and then you obviously just assume that they have read the processing times, and then the item doesn't come, they're going to get a negative review, and it all just sort of snowballs. So I decided that I just didn't want the hassle of it while I was away. I didn't have to reply to any messages and all that sort of stuff, so I decided to put it on vacation mode. So I've turned it back on. It has noticeably dropped, I will say. I have had 2 orders since I turned it back on, which is quite a lot less than I was getting before we went away. I'm hoping it's just going to take a little time to work itself up. I am going to list a couple of items every day just to sort of get the Etsy spiders crawling my store again, and hopefully that's going to help. If that doesn't help, I'm going to then put ads on for a couple of weeks just to get things sort of boosted back up again. I've got a couple of cake toppers as well that I'm in the process of making. I've got this one, if you can see it, yeah, just about. This says Happy 18th Ben. This one needs to come off the mat. This one is Happy 18th Elliot. And then I have also today been making some more coronation stuff. So I've made a little pennant banner. This is just going to be like a budget one. And then I've made these cute little paper straws. We've got the king and the king's emblem there, and then I've also made some little budget cupcake toppers just with the Union Jack flag on there, so those are going to go onto Etsy this week. Another item that I've got that I've been making are my neon names. So these are the ones I'm taking the pictures of for Etsy. So I've done Dottie, we've got Max, Maisie, and Lady is my mum's dog's name. But it's nice to see the combination of the letters, because obviously in this font the L is pretty big. So those are all new items that I'm going to list this week and hopefully get Etsy moving again, so that will help, I think. What else is happening this week? Oh, I've got to make some more thank you cards, and I think I might foil them. So that'll be fun. I really enjoy foiling, so I'm going to get those done today. I've actually printed them out and got them on here, so I'm going to do that now for the most part. I'm just trying to think what else is happening this week. Not a lot, I don't think. So I've got a few balloons to do as usual. I'm going to take the dogs for a little walk in a little bit. It's a bit colder here than I am used to at the moment, so I've been wrapping up in my coat to go out, but it's all good fun. So that is it for today. Let's get on with the day, get these things foiled and get some stuff done. Printed these Happy Mail stickers. I've done them on the laser printer. They're a bit wonky. Look at how wonky that is. I was so amazed that the Cricut managed to scan that properly and actually cut them perfectly, considering how like off that print was. I think when I put it in, because I used the manual feed on the laser printer, it must have not quite gone in straight because I was too lazy to get up off my chair and do it, so I did it sitting down, and that was the result. So don't do that, don't sit down and be lazy. Get up and put your paper in your printer because it comes out completely skewiff. So now I'm going to head over to the other side of my craft room, which actually isn't that far. It makes it sound like it's really big. I'm going to do some foiling, so I'm going to show you how I do that and see how these come out. I've tried this sticker paper going through the ink, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Please ignore the state of my desk. It is a complete mess. I'm halfway through making some cake toppers to go out today. So I'm going to use some rose gold foil for this. So what I'm going to do first of all is just cut the size that I need, which is roughly there. That was a beat to say that the mink has got to temperature. I'll just cut this off. Now what I'm going to do before I pop this down onto here is just give this a little wipe down with my hands, just to make sure that there's no bits of fluff or anything on there, because if there is, I can see a tiny bit of vinyl weeding that's stuck to it somehow. If there's anything stuck to this when you put the foil down onto it, obviously the foil can't adhere to the toner, because basically toner foiling, once this goes through the machine, it heats it up a bit like a laminator, and it makes the toner that's on the paper or sticker or whatever it is you're using turn into like a glue effectively. It warms it up and makes it sticky, so then it pulls off the foil from this foil sheet. So we need to use a carrier sheet in order to get that to go through. So I'll put that on to there, and then what I also do is I just get a thin sheet of card, she says, from somewhere. Where is it not? So just get a thin sheet of card. This is 120 GSM smooth card. I'm just going to pop that underneath there, and that is just going to make that a little bit more sturdy. So that is on there now. You can actually see the cut through that. What I'm going to do is pass it through my machine, and then I'll show you it when it comes out. Right, I'll put that through the machine now. You can probably see the difference in it, so let's have a look at what it's come out like. The most important thing now is to let it cool thoroughly, and it's nice and cool. You don't want to peel it back while it's still warm. I'm going to just try and get it out in one go so that you can see how it comes out, but let's peel it back. I've never done it with this sticker paper before, so I'm hoping it's come out good. Let's peel this back. Oh yes, it's a bit patchy. It's a little bit patchy in some places, but for the most part they look pretty good, and I reckon they'll look really cute on my envelopes as well. So you can see how it comes off. It's all stuck to the toner, and I've got basically a set of Happy Mail stickers made from foil. Good afternoon everybody, welcome to another day. Today is Wednesday the 26th of April. It's been a week or so since I have checked in with the vlog. Today we have just been out for a really long walk because my daughter's on study leave. You can probably hear the cricket in the background, sorry about that. My daughter is on study leave from her A-level first lot of exams for year 12, so we went out this morning, just did a really long walk. We walked about 6 kilometres. We stopped at the business park, which is near to us, and had a Greg's Yum Yum, which was really nice, and we sat down by the pond and watched the ducks and stuff, and just really sort of helped her to decompress from her revision and stuff that she's doing. Today is just like a normal day in the office. I've got a few things to be making. My cake lady from the shop has asked me to make a few things for her this week, and the one I just needed her to get clarification for me on the size, and this is it. It's just a name, as you can see, but what I've done with it, can you see that? Let me see if I can get that to, there we go. Can you see how that's got the debossing on it there? What I've done that for is so that when I've cut it out of my glitter cardstock, it just makes it really, really easy to then overlay the glitter onto the top of this and get it centered perfectly. So what I do on Design Space is I just get my design and I turn it into a deboss, or you can do it with the scoring tool as well if you want to, but I find the deboss gives me a nicer edge to it, and what I do is just attach that then onto my main design. So then once I've cut it out with the glitter, I can add it onto the top and get it perfectly laid out every single time. So that's what I've got to do with that one. I've got a few Etsy orders to crack on with. What else have I got to do today? Oh, the washing's in. I'm still working on the holiday washing because obviously the weather has been a bit pants the last few days. We've had quite a lot of rain, and it's not conducive with drying your washing. So I have a few bits and pieces to hang up outside, and then I might go in the garden and do a little bit in my greenhouse. We've got a tip run to do tomorrow because at our local tip we have to actually make an appointment. So I've made an appointment for tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. So Shelby and I are going to go, and that's her decompression for tomorrow, is going to the tip. So we're going to put all the stuff in the car, get all that taken in. We've got a few bits and bobs out of the garage, a few bits and bobs out of the garden, some bathroom stuff that needs to go, and any other bits of trash really that we want to get rid of. So that's tomorrow's plan. So without any further ado, let's get started with the day. I just thought I'd show you this a bit closer up. So this is my background offset, and then on here is my lettering. Now it's not in any order because I didn't bother to weld it or anything. Here's my word, which I think is Emmeline. Let's get these letters off. So now this allows me to get my glue, and I can just go over the inside of this debossed section. Put all my glue on before I'm ready to stick the lettering on. Now I'm just going to grab my tweezers here, and it doesn't really matter which letter I start with because they're all going to end up in the perfect position if you don't drop them face down into the glue, of course. Right, let's get that there, and then I just use that deboss to line that letter up absolutely perfectly with where it should be. And let's get the E actually so that we can do the end, so it saves me having to lean over that glue. Just use the tweezers to place it, and then because the glue's wet you can just slide it to wherever it needs to be. It just gives it a really nice perfect looking finish. So if you want me to do a full video on how to do this, let me know in the comments down below, because it's a technique that just is so time saving, and it also just makes your design look perfect every time, and we all want that, don't we? So let me know if you want a full-blown video on this. There is a short that I've done on it, but it doesn't show you exactly. Once you're done, just press it all down. There you go, perfect. So this is my little greenhouse. It's not very big, but it's a lovely little space for doing all sorts of things in. So I've got a few things that I've planted. These here are some round head lettuce that I've put in, and they seem to be coming up pretty well at the moment. I did prick a few out yesterday because what I did in each cell was just planted maybe 5 or 6 different seeds so that they had a good chance of germinating and coming up. And then over here in this one and over here in this one are the ones that I've germinated. I've not flooded them with water because I didn't want them to end up coming out of the soil once I put them in, because they are really delicate and tiny. And then this plant here with these little flowers on it is my blueberry plant. Now unfortunately when I was in here on Saturday I did break off a couple of the big arms of new growth from my blueberry, which is annoying, but I think this year I'm going to get a decent amount of blueberries off my plant, because last year I think I got the grand total of 3, which was pretty good for its first year, but the pigeons actually ate them, so I didn't even get to try them, which was really annoying. And then down here on the floor I've got my onions. These are just onion sets that I got from Wilko, and I've just popped them in, and they've literally taken a week to get these green sprouts on them. So I've put a few in here. There are 6 in this little tub. This was from Poundland, and I've got quite a few of these here. They're stackable, so if you've got strawberries you can put them in and stack them up. But they're pretty cool. They're only £1 each as well. In here I've got some lilies that I planted. They haven't emerged just yet. And then over here I've got my pegs for the washing line, because I haven't got a peg bag at the moment. I think I might make one of those this week at some point. So because I haven't got a peg bag, I'm just using this pot at the minute, which is fine. And then I've planted over here some broccoli, some sprouts, and then I've put some petunias in, some morning glory and some nasturtiums. Hopefully they will come up pretty soon, but it does say to plant them outside. Obviously they're in the greenhouse, but I think they'll be alright. And then outside you can see there, that's my raised bed. I bought some little pansy viola things from Wilko, where did I get them from? Morrison's on Friday. So those are going to be for my hanging baskets. I need to buy some new hanging baskets. Then I've got my some strawberries and stuff in there from last year. They've just grown again this year. And then I think I might put some onions and stuff in. And I've got over here, these are all raspberry plants, and they start to sort of shoot up from about August time really, with the flowers and stuff. So yeah, that's my little greenhouse. All my cake toppers are cutting. I just thought I'd show you these cute little stickers that I made yesterday. These say, if I can get it to focus, I love small businesses. They're only tiny, and I've just printed them and cut them on the Cricut to put them in my packages when I send my orders out. So everybody this month will be getting a I love small businesses sticker. I'm thinking as well about putting these as a product on Etsy, maybe making them a little bit bigger and then doing them so that they can either be die cut or kiss cut, so that people can use them in their own businesses. So I thought that was pretty cute. So if you think that's a good idea, let me know, because I think people like receiving little bits and pieces like this, and I certainly do when I order on Etsy and stuff. I've also still got these postcards that I'm giving out with orders, so everybody gets one of those. That's all I've got left now here. There's not very many, and I had loads. If you remember a couple of months ago, I literally had probably 3 times that amount, so I have given out a lot of those. So that was one way of using them up as well. I've got lots of these cake toppers to make again today, so I'm going to crack on with that and get them all done and sent out today. Obviously with the bank holiday, things have been delayed a day, so I don't really tend to work on a bank holiday. I did do a couple of orders yesterday, but I didn't send them until this morning, because obviously they wouldn't get collected anyway. So let's get on with the day. and I are going to leave this vlog now and end it here because it's getting pretty long. So have a wonderful week. I hope you all have a fantastic coronation weekend next weekend. It looks like there's going to be lots of street parties and stuff going on round by where we live. So I hope you get to go to some by where you are. As I said, have a fabulous week. Take care of yourselves, and me and Max will see you really, really soon. Bye. Bye. Oh, am I boring you? Sorry.